Shalom, this is Gamal Yalla of Great Millstone, Atlanta. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the Akim pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, this is a quick lesson, and this is going to be entitled, Everything Works Against the Elect in Esau's Kingdom. And, something I'd just been, meditating on and experiencing, this is we're in the land of our captivity. Like Deuteronomy says, you shall serve your enemies in want of all things. And of course you read the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter from the 15th verse on down, basically going into everything, the curses. Everything is going to work against you. Everything is going to work against you. We're just under the curses. All right. And, from a detailed perspective, all right, for instance, if you have kids, the first example that comes to mind is, if you have kids, the system is going to work against you. There's fees. What's that precept? I believe it's in. What is that? Let me get it. Let's try to find it. Yeah, Haggai 1:6. Get this, ye have sown much and bringing little, ye eat, but ye have not enough, ye drink, but are not filled with drink, ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. Yeah, so we're under the curses. Everything works against us. You bring in little, you've sown, you work a lot, but you bring in little. Your paychecks ain't enough. You're working paycheck to paycheck. Everything's not enough. You drink, but you're not filled with drink. So you're never filled, never satisfied, never fulfilled. Ultimately, we're looking for fulfillment. And fulfillment of our basic needs without, having to stress and put too much thought into, how can I sustain living sustain living, having enough food, having enough shelter, because bills tie into, your shelter, your living quarters. With this modern day society, it requires so much. You gotta have a car, which in most cases requires having a car payment. You gotta have a TV. You gotta have the Netflix. You gotta have the phone. You gotta have food. Different things. There's so many things that this kingdom requires that is like bare minimum. And so, but it's just not, then you got to deal with even, there's certain burdens that we deal with, parking tickets, just miscellaneous fees that Esau just taxes on us. There's so many, you might get a boot on your car. Your car is fucking up because Esau, basically designs these cars to break down. So many recalls and different things. Your woman's working against you. Everything is working against you. It's an uphill battle in so many words. That's the point of it. Everything is an uphill battle for the elect, or just Jake in general. But us being the elect, we're under the curses as well, but it hits harder. It does hit harder when you have an understanding of the truth too. So let me get let me start with Isaiah 5:20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, and that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." So this is a flip-flop society. That's why it's difficult for the elect, is because us as good, upstanding men who are following the Lord and being, trying to live a righteous life in this world, that's considered evil, because they label you as, oh, you're toxic masculine, you're toxic masculine, you're racist, you're whatever, you're an occult, whatever bad negative labels they try to put on you, that's working against you. Because this world is formed in darkness. Scriptures say, what fellowship hath darkness with light? So there is no intermingling. Either you're of the darkness or you're of the light. But you can't, like the darkness, they won't understand the light that's in us. So they're constantly trying to pull down and make things harder. People got demons on them. But this is a difficult place for the elect. This is a very, as scriptures say, enter ye in the straight gate, the difficult gate. Because the reason why it's difficult is because of this right here. I'm gonna get it. This is Ephesians 6:12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in higher places." So we're up against demonic forces. The elect is up against a bunch of demonic forces that are trying to pull us down and take us, destroy us. And not only on a spiritual level, but on a carnal level. Because this devil is poisoning everything. The food, water supply, air, everything. Everything that you can think of is being polluted. And hey, look, man. Everything, even King Solomon said, "Behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit." So it's just all bullshit. It's all wickedness. It's all wickedness. The earth. Matter of fact, let me get this. Bear with me. John 5:19. And we know that we are of the Most High, and the whole world lieth in wickedness. Well, the whole world lies in wickedness. Got another one. This is Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. So that's that earth lying in wickedness, because people are being mourned. People are being destroyed. People are constantly being destroyed, and they don't even know. A lot of people don't even really know what's happening to them. A lot of people just believe, oh, well, it's just, this is how it's supposed to be. But it's not how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be free under YAHAWASHI. There's certain things that are supposed to be a God-given right. So-called, as they say, the term God-given right. There's certain things that are a God-given right. It's our God-given right to be free from government control, binding. The word government means to bind. So we're really meant to be free from government. The government, as they say, that's your human rights, right? Everyone has a so-called human right, right? So you're really supposed to be free of Esau's system. You're really supposed to make your own living and be away from this rat race, and you shouldn't even have to really deal with the heathen if you don't want to. You really should be sovereign, being free from external control. That's what sovereign means, being free from external control. But we're not free. We're under the curses, number one. And then, like I said, this devil has so many things on us. It's impossible to live in this society without dealing with the devil in some form or fashion. You have to deal with this devil. If you want to travel, you got to have a license. If you want to have a job, you got to have a social security, you got to have a phone, you got to have you got to have a, there's no really way you can operate in society without having basic things. Internet, you got to have internet, you got to have this. There's certain rules and stipulations that Esau requires to even function in society. And he's made it so that everyone relies on him. Everyone relies on the government. Or I'll say, the economy and being a part of the system. You can't just go out and live in the woods. Well, you can, but it's very difficult. Just to go out and live in the woods and make your own living and have your own. But that's how, little do you know, that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be able to do that. It's supposed to really be able to, just be free from external control. Being sovereign. You're supposed to be sovereign. But ultimately, we'll only get that through YAHAWASHI. That's the only way we'll get that. The Lord is going to give us freedom to where we don't have to deal with this devil anymore and get his permission to do, even if you buy land, or even if you acquire land, you still got to pay taxes. You're still tributary. You still, have to operate under this devil's system. And that's ultimately what we want freedom from, is operating under this devil. Exactly what he is. He's a devil. All right, he's gonna always figure out some kind of way to make your life harder and oppress you. So, and there's another scripture I'm thinking of. Let's see if I can find it. Job 20:19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor. Because I'm sorry, you could even start at 18. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. So yeah, Esau's riches and immense control of the world is going to be taken away. It's going to say then it says according to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein. And restitution means payback. So he's going to have to pay back all that. And the scripture say he's going to have to pay back a double portion. Verse 19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, and hath violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. So he oppressed and forsook the poor. And that's going to be his, downfall. And who is the poor? The poor is Israelites. But that's all I got. Lord willing, you were edified. We give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, BAHASHAM, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.